Most companies are approaching AI completely backwards. They start with the technology. They buy a new platform. Then they select the model. They launch an AI agent, and then they tell everyone to go start using it. And then they're actually surprised when adoption stalls. Employees don't trust it. The workflow somehow becomes more complicated than it was before. But the problem is usually not the AI. The problem is usually that they never designed the system. This is the most important skill in the age of AI, and it's not prompting. It is not learning every new tool that comes out. It's systems thinking, the ability to understand how people, processes, and technology work together, and then intentionally design the whole system. Systems thinking means stepping back and looking at the whole picture. Instead of looking at one task, you look at what happens before it, what happens after it, who is involved, and what information moves between people, and what unintended consequences might be created. You start to ask questions like, where does the information come from? Who made this decision? What happens when the AI is wrong? And most importantly, who is accountable? You can also ask questions like, how does the system improve over time? You see, systems thinking is about how you understand the whole. And systems engineering is how you intentionally design the whole into something that actually works. And in the age of AI, you don't have a functioning system unless you've considered these three things: the people, the process, and the technology. Before AI, a bad process might have been slow and frustrating. With AI, the same bad process can now operate at enormous speed and scale. AI amplifies the system you give it. Give it a clear process, quality information, and strong human judgment, and it can act incredibly valuable. However, give it a confusing process, outdated information, and no accountability, and it will scale the confusion. That is why buying an AI tool is not the same thing as transforming your organization. A collection of tools is not a system, just like a collection of ingredients is not a cake. Someone still has to understand how the pieces work together. The first part of every AI system is people, and this is where many companies make their first mistake. They treat people as a change management part that comes after technology, after the technology has already been selected. I've worked with Fortune 500 companies teaching them AI strategy and implementation for over 15 years, and this is the number one mistake that I see most organizations make. You see, because people are not an afterthought. People are actually part of your architecture. They're part of the whole technology. They're part of the whole system. So you need to ask, who will use the system? Whose work is going to change? Who needs to trust the output of the system? Who owns the final decision? Where is human judgment still required? And what incentive might cause people to use or avoid the system? See, imagine introducing an AI system that saves employees 30 minutes but requires an hour of additional review and documentation. Technically, the AI may be working perfectly, but overall, the system is actually failing. A well-designed system is not one where the AI performs well in isolation. It's one where humans and AI perform better together. Now, the second part of system thinking for me is the process. Before you automate a workflow, you need to understand the workflow. Where does it begin? What information enters the system? Where are the handoffs? And where are the bottlenecks? Additional questions may include, what are the expectations? How is quality checked? And what happens when something goes wrong? One of my biggest concerns with AI adoption is that organizations are trying to automate processes they have never actually mapped. What I find most frequently is the real process is living inside someone's head. The project board is outdated, the ticket was never updated, the important decision happened verbally in a meeting. Then we connect AI to the organization and expect it to just magically know everything. But AI cannot operate in a context it does not have. Automating a broken process does not fix the process. Let me say that again. Automating a broken process does not fix the process. It simply allows the broken process to move faster. And that's why process comes before technology. Now, if you're interested in thinking about AI in this way, less hype, more practical systems and strategy, subscribe to this channel. Or better yet, I write a weekly AI newsletter that shares the latest advancements in AI and how you can put them into practical use. Be sure to subscribe below, link is in the comments. All right, last but not least, we do have technology in here, and that is the third component. Technology does matter enormously, but it comes third for a reason. Once you understand the people, the process, you can determine what technology systems actually need. What model should you use? What information does it actually access? How will it connect to the existing systems? How will you monitor its performance? What security or privacy protections are required? How much latency is actually acceptable? These may seem like basic questions, but these are really vital when you're thinking about where and how the technology gets implemented. The most powerful model is not automatically the best for your systems. Sometimes the right solution is a frontier model. Sometimes it's a smaller model. Sometimes it's a traditional automation, and sometimes the best answer is not to use AI at all. Systems thinking keeps us from selecting a technology because it's exciting, and it forces us to select it because it serves an outcome. Now, let's explore a use case with customer service. A company says, we want an AI customer service agent. If we begin with technology, we might purchase a chatbot, connect it to the website, and consider the project finished. But that is not a system. That is a tool. So let's apply the framework. First, people. Who is interacting with it? Customers, customer service representatives, managers, and perhaps legal or compliance. Can the AI send an answer directly, or should it draft an answer for a person? Which questions must always be escalated? Who is responsible when the answer is incorrect? Second is the process. A customer submits a request. The system identifies the intent and it retrieves the relevant information. It generates a possible response and it evaluates its confidence. It either responds, asks for human review, or it escalates the issue. Then the outcome is to record it so the system and the team can improve. Now third, our favorite part, the technology. Now we choose the language model, the knowledge base, the CRM integration, the security controls. We evaluate the system, monitor the tools, and what is required to support the workflow. Notice what has happened. We did not simply add AI to the task. We designed a system in which humans and AI could work together. This is the difference between an AI demo and an AI capability. Okay, now before starting your next AI project, these are the questions that you need to ask. For the people, who will be affected and who will remain accountable? For the process, what workflows are we changing? And how will the system learn from its results? And for the technology, what technology safely and reliably enables that process? And here's the most important part. Do not answer these questions independently. A change in one changes another. Remember, we're thinking in systems. A more autonomous technology changes the human role. A human role approves requirements. A slower process may require a different technology. The interdependence is the system. So what do I see as someone who has led organizations in AI for over 15 years? The organizations that win in AI will not necessarily win because they're the ones with the biggest tools and the biggest budgets. They are the ones that know how to orchestrate the entire system. They will combine human judgment, well-designed processes, and the right technology, the right people, and the right process. That's why I believe systems thinking will be one of the most important skills you can develop right now, because the future is not simply automated. The future is orchestrated. So which part of your organization do you tend to overlook? The people, the process, or the technology? Let me know in the comments.